Most people think that car mods stop in the wintertime, but that's not entirely true. I'm about to reveal 5 game-changing mods that are easy to install inside your car, but they also will have you looking forward to your winter commutes. And I don't know about you, but when it's cold, it's a new year, you kind of want to change things up. These 5 interior mods will help you do just that. So keep in mind that we're in the Model 3 Highland, but we have the same interior mods for the Cybertruck, Model Y Juniper, and the Legacy models to fit your trims. So first up, we are going to install the center console. We wanted to choose one of our best-selling colors, so we got satin white. This is Avery Dennison Supreme Wrap. So first up, before I even get started, we are going to clean the center console. That is one of the most important steps. You want to make sure that the surface is well prepped, so that we get a perfect install. So all of our kits come with these wipes. So we're just going to take one, and I don't know if we can see the dust on camera, but there's a lot of stuff up there at the top. That's what we don't want on the center console. So we're going to wipe it off. And keep in mind, I turned off the air so that it's not just blowing stuff back on our installs. But obviously, if it's cold outside, you can have it running on heat at like a low fan. And I'm going to start with this top piece. So that's going to be the biggest one. And I'm going to get out my tool as well, my squeegee. Just want to make sure that I'm well prepared. So basically, we are just going to peel one of the corners. And then we are going to lay it down, figure out which way it goes. I think it actually goes the other way. Yeah, that looks better. And I'm going to line this bottom part first. You're going to want a little bit of overlap on the sides because it's going to tuck. It doesn't need to be perfectly even, just enough to where the sides don't show. And then luckily, this is a really easy alignment. And once you have that, I think you have that down, then adjust just a tad. Perfect. I'm going to just kind of use my thumb. There we go. And I'm going to squeegee all of that down. And then this is the easiest part. I'm going to lift it up and then just take the squeegee in the middle, just squeegee all the way down. And then from here, we're just going to go out. And I'm not going to tackle the edges just yet. When it gets up here to where this is kind of folded, you just kind of go at the fold. Get that all down. And then right here, you can see kind of these wrinkles. They're super easy to get out. You just kind of go, and then vinyl is super forgiving. So don't really worry if you do get bubbles. You can easily just pull up and then lay back down. Same with this one. We're just going to kind of go at it. And I'm going to make sure that this top edge is all the way down. The center console is great because it's not only an aesthetic, but it protects your center console as well. I'm assuming that the steering wheel and the center console are probably the 2 panels that you touch the most, and you can get scratches and whatnot. So this is basically just a protection layer for everyday wear. Now I'm going to take the hard part of the squeegee once I have everything squeegeed down, and we're just going to tuck that in. I'm just going to do it gradually. And then once I have it all down, we're going to fold it over. See? And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. And we design all of these kits in-house here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to ensure that you have full coverage. So none of like the bottom part, none of the original center console is showing. Sweet. So that first piece is done. We're just going to move on to the second piece, and that looks pretty clean, so I'm not really going to clean it again. Same thing. We're going to peel. There are these, on this piece, there are these little like edges where you can see. It's because it's going to fold over on the edge. So that's going to be one of our alignment points. So this is an alignment point, and then that is also an alignment point. So I'm going to follow the same step that I did last time. Just align it up there. But I'm not going to squeegee it all down yet because I want to make sure that these alignment points are good over here. Basically what you're looking for is that there's like a little cut right there. You want to make sure that the cut is on the edge. How I have it right now, it is not. So I'm going to simply peel it back up and then readjust that. I need to go a little bit more to the right. That looks good. And that looks good. So I'm just going to get all that down. Same thing. I'm going to peel this up, and then I'm going to just get this top edge squeegeed down. And then same thing, I'm going to take it in the middle, just bring it all the way back. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it out. You can see I have a little something right there. It's just going to be so simple to get out. If it doesn't bother you, you could leave it. I want to make sure that I'm installing this perfectly. You can see that there's just like a little fiber under there. So I'm just going to use my nail and get it out. There we go. So simple. Like I said, vinyl is forgiving, so no need to stress. And then same as last time, we're going to take the hard edge and squeegee that over. And then hard edge and squeegee this over as well. And then we get to this side, you can I'm going to push this up. And I'm going to pull this back, or I guess pull this up a little bit as far as I can without causing too much force. And then I'm going to get the vinyl and make sure that it goes over this edge. And then right here, I'm just going to use the felt side and squeegee that extra one down. And then same thing for this side. So now we have a choice. We can either do the cup holder or this piece. I think I'm just going to stay with the top. We're going to align the top as we've always done. You can see I can kind of just slide it around. That's the beauty of Avery Dennison. It's very easy for beginners. Just anyone who is not familiar with vinyl. So once we get that top one down, I'm just going to reaffirm it with my squeegee. I'm going to kind of pull up, and then same thing. Going to go down and out. And then once that's all good, we're going to tuck in all those edges. And then we also have a cup holder that comes with it. Some people prefer to install this, some people don't. We're not going to install it today, but it is the same install as everything else you've seen on the center console so far. Okay. Perfect. We're now going to move on to the steering wheel. So it comes with some of the same things the center console does. Obviously the wrap, and then the lens wipes and the squeegee. I like starting with the buttons left to right. Before I get into that, let's clean it. The most important part of getting your install ready. So I'm going to get started with this left side. And then I'm basically just going to line it up with the circle. And then also you can see the buttons through, or the button lights. So just enough. Perfect. And then once I get that down, I'll start squeegeeing very carefully around the openings. I keep hitting the turn lights or the turn signal. And then we're basically just going to tuck it on the left side. And then as you can see, it's a perfect fit. So there's not really any manipulation that you need to do with the vinyl. It should just lay flat. And then it comes right up to the edge, so there's not really any tucking on the edge. It should just follow it perfect. So we're basically just going to keep going with a good thing. We're going to install the right side. And make sure you always check. I just saw a little fiber laying there. It's all good. So same thing. We're going to use the circle as the main alignment, but then also kind of follow the buttons. So when designing this, it was very meticulous trying to get it to fit the buttons just right. Multiple variations until we got it just perfect. But I'm pretty happy. I think this is the first time I've installed it since I designed it. So pretty happy with how this is held up. And then that is good to go. This last pleat's going to be a little bit different. So that's why our installations or watching our installation videos are very important. So we're going to align this bottom part on both sides. And then we're going to push in. You're going to kind of get all of that squeegee down. And then we'll clean up that in a second. And then basically we're going to take these flaps and we're going to not necessarily stretch, but like follow that silver line until that's good. And then we'll get the back end in a second. Then we're going to do the same for this side. Sweet. And then if you want to heat, you can. It's not really necessary. But then all of these edges that are kind of still sticking up, we are going to just squeegee down. Sweet. And that is the steering wheel. I think it looks great. So to complete the wrap, we have the dashboard wrap, and I'm so excited about this. It's about to tie in the interior all together and look pretty sick. Also, obviously this is the Highland, but for the Legacy Model 3, I think that I think anything is better than the wood dash in my opinion, but I think specifically the white looks really good as well. So you can start with whichever side that you want to. I'm going to start with the driver's side mostly because I'm already over here and I really don't want to get up. So basically, what's cool about our wraps is some of them have like these relief cuts, so you don't have to like peel everything and try to install it all at once. You can pull this piece and then install it, and then pull the next piece and install it. So it keeps the vinyl from getting damaged, and it makes the install easier. So all that to be said, I'm about to peel and we'll see how this goes. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm going to place it behind the screen. It just makes it a little bit easier for alignment. And you don't have to worry too much about alignment. Just try to make sure that it is somewhat straight. And then it's pretty simple. This curve basically follows that curve. So we're going to use the outer line as an alignment point. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a very awkward position to be in, so give yourself some grace if you don't get it the first time. Or the second. Okay, that is good enough. Actually, I have a few wrinkles there. Let me pull that. Sweet. So then I'm going to go ahead, and you can kind of see where it's sticking up right there. That actually tucks. So I'm going to go ahead and just tuck that in, get that out of my mind. Sweet. So now that that is good, I'm basically just going to peel this to the next position. I'm not sure where the next relief cut is. I think it's halfway. Yeah. Sweet. So then basically I'm going to use like the piece that still like has a backing paper as like an alignment or a movement. I can move it around, and then I like this alignment, so I'm basically just going to press down every so often just to get that going. Again, you can use the squeegee provided, or you can use your hands. Sometimes it's easier just to use your hands, especially in positions like these. And then, so I have this bottom piece, or I guess the bottom section tacked down. So I'm going to take my squeegee and I'm just going to push, or I guess squeegee up. And I'm going to make sure that I overlap so that I don't miss any sections and then end up getting bubbles. And we're just going to do that all the way. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up this top edge and just make sure that everything's squeegee down. Sweet. So now me and my camera woman, we're about to change spots. We are going to peel the backing paper until it hits the slit. And then I'm going to make sure that I like this alignment. And I'm not pulling this to stretch it. I'm basically just using it as like to take out all the wrinkles, because like there you can see like all those wrinkles right there. I'm basically just gonna pull to get rid of those wrinkles as much as possible without stretching. So I like this alignment. So I'm going to start tacking this bottom down. All right, so now that I have the bottom part tacked, I'm basically just gonna go from the middle, and same thing, I'm going to squeegee up while I'm overlapping just a little bit. So we're going to pull it, and then you might need to stretch it just a tad. We leave some variable just in case you do accidentally stretch the middle. So basically I'm gonna pull just a little bit up. I'm talking like 2 millimeters is what I need. So I'm just going to stretch just a little bit from this middle part. See if that's exactly what I needed. So then I'm going to squeegee this part back down. Sweet. And then I'm going to squeegee all of this down. That's exactly how I want. Sweet. And then the next thing that I'm actually not going to install, because it's not my favorite to install, but if you get our interior bundle, it comes with the door switch wraps. So just imagine that these are white, and then look at the whole interior. Wouldn't that look pretty cool? But if you do install the door switches, it really just brings the whole look together and makes it more cohesive. And it also protects, I mean, same thing. You're touching this every day, doing this every day, could end up scratching over time. You want to preserve the resale value, so it does protect it from getting scratched. And our door switch wraps comes with wraps for all 4 doors. So all of them look put together. Now the last upgrade are going to be our performance pedals. If you have seen OEM pedals, they are not the most aesthetically pleasing. They look a little janky. And so these pedals are like sport pedals. They look really nice, not to be lazy, but I already had these installed, so I didn't have to do it. But these are a matte blacks, which was really cool. We also have chrome if you want a little bit more of like a brighter color down there. But these compared to the OEM pedals, I would highly recommend. So now your entire interior is completely transformed. Keep in mind that these vinyl kits are reversible, so at any point that you need to remove them, it's an easy removal process. There's no damage or anything like that that's left. These are some really easy upgrades that you can do even in the cold winter months. Thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.